You don't take the title off your biggest babyface 3 weeks after WrestleMania just because the IWC can't stomach the yeets. Let's talk about it. Today I'm diving into the question I saw floating around my timeline. Why wouldn't you put the title on Seth Rollins last night on Monday Night Raw? Stick with me until the end of this video and I will tell you exactly who is going to take the title off of Jay Uso at SummerSlam and who will hold the gold come 2026. Like it or not, Jay Uso is the biggest babyface in the WWE right now, period. End of story. I've been saying this for months, and I'll say it again. Stop reading what the IWC wants you to think. Stop giving your energy to Dave Meltzer, to Bully Ray, and that circle of out-of-touch book club warriors. We are not in the IWC fantasy anymore. This is the era of the casual wrestling fan, and guess what? Casual wrestling fans love us some Jay Uso. When that entrance hits, the in-person crowd absolutely loses their shit. It is a pop every time. The IWC rolls their eyes while the real fans are bopping their head, and I see these old head insider podcasters saying that Jay Uso's entrance is too long, and they just don't understand that in the era of casual wrestling fans, this is what the casuals want. I think right now we are witnessing possibly the biggest divide ever between what the internet thinks wrestling should be and what the casual fans actually see happening right now. If you only read Twitter, if you only think that WWE is in shambles according to the IWC, then you are missing actually what is going on here. Because if you ask any casual wrestling fan right now, they would tell you WWE is on a heater. That WWE has never been hotter than it is right now. Take a look at your current WWE champions, IWC, and you tell me who WWE is booking for. We have Jay Uso, the guy that you guys say can't wrestle. All right, but the fans love him, right? We have John Cena, the guy that you spent 20 years telling us how bad he sucks and how much of a corporate shill he is, but guess what? He's widely over with the casual fans. We have Tiffany Stratton, who you guys love to compare to all the young women's talent in AEW, and you tell us she can't wrestle, and you tell us she can't talk, but guess what? She's over with the casual wrestling fans. Then you have your Dirty Doms, your New Day, your Jacob Fatu, your Zelina Vega, your Street Profits. These are all wrestlers that appeal to the casual wrestling fan base. They are not the indie darlings that the IWC has come to love. You could make the argument maybe for Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria as more indie online favorite wrestlers, but I would say even Io Sky is starting to find that broader appeal with the casual fan base. And I see people in the Discord and I see people online who I know tend to lean more casual are starting to say, okay, I get it with Io Sky. She's starting to grow on me. So no, WWE is doing exactly what they told you they were going to do during WrestleMania week. They are not listening to the IWC anymore. They are booking for the people who want the feel-good story. They are giving us clear takes on what villains should be. They are giving us more simple story arcs. The audience that buys the tickets, that pays for the merch and shows up weekly are the ones that like the clearly defined stories. And Jay Uso, my friends, is built for this era of casual wrestling. He has great music that people love to sing along to. He's got the flashy entrance that people want to yeet their hands to. He's got a very easy to follow moveset. See, IWC, you want to call that a limited moveset. But in the casual wrestling universe, we call that a moveset that's very easy to follow. It's very easy to pick up on. It's easy to see the repetition. Oh, and by the way, Jay Uso is a great underdog story, and underdog stories play extremely well with the casual wrestling audience. He is tailor-made to be the world heavyweight champion right now for the casual style of booking. And seriously, guys, if you really thought last night that WWE was going to snatch the title off of Jay Uso and just serve him up to Seth Rollins and this new group that Seth Rollins has dubbed the Vision, then you don't understand this style of booking. You don't understand what Triple H is trying to do in this moment in time. This is not about Seth Rollins. This is not even about the group that he's calling the Vision. Right now, what Triple H is doing is he is positioning a story for you. This is about Jay Uso, and this is about Bron Breaker. Seth Rollins has already proved everything that he needed to prove at WrestleMania. He was dubbed the guy. He beat Roman Reigns, who was the corporate darling, and he beat CM Punk, who was the new kid trying to take over, and he got the tip of the cap from Triple H. He got the nod of approval from Triple H telling him, "You are the man, Seth Rollins. You are the guy. You are the WWE workhorse. And now I have a job for you, Seth Rollins. I have a job that I can only entrust to someone of your level of competence, and that is I need you to build the next era of pro wrestling." And Triple H reached out to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is the guy that he trusts to help him do it. You can hear this in Paul Heyman's promos. He is teeing this thing up perfectly. They're talking about Seth Rollins is the standard now, and that Seth Rollins is the guy to lead us into the future. That does not mean that Seth Rollins needs a World Heavyweight Championship. It means that Seth Rollins is setting the stage for bigger stories down the road. But when you talk about Jay Uso, I'm so surprised that in a world where the IWC wants legitimacy with champions, that the IWC would think that it made sense to take the title off of Jay Uso just 3 weeks outside of WrestleMania. Jay Uso needs to be legitimized. There are still questions about his fun-loving, yeeting nature. And that's what we're seeing right now. That's what you guys witnessed last night, was the beginning of seeing Jay Uso's credibility and stock rise. He is on the upswing, and you can thank Seth freaking Rollins. But the two things that I think right now are most important for WWE, if I'm Triple H, here's what I'm worried about. Number one, like I said, I've got to legitimize Jay Uso because he's got the casual grand swell, right? He's got the fans that are behind him, but you have to legitimize him in the eyes of the more pure wrestling fans. Because at the end of the day, you want both subsections of crowds to ultimately like the product you're putting out. But number two, you got to keep building Bron Breaker as your next big killer. So that is the plan that if I'm Triple H, that's the plan that I'm laying forward. Monday's match with Seth Rollins, Jay Uso and Seth Rollins. Jay Uso passed the test, guys. He proved he can main event Raw. Most of us enjoyed what we saw last night on Monday Night Raw. The crowd was locked in. And now, the thing that we like the most as wrestling fans, and I guess as casual fans, we like stories that have branches. And I see so many branches coming off of this story. We could go Sami Zayn and Bron Breaker. We could go Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. We could go CM Punk and Seth Rollins. We could go CM Punk and Bron Breaker. We could just continue going forward with Jay and Seth in that story that we just saw. You've got to throw Logan Paul into this mix. Where does he fit into everything? We saw on social media the beatdown of Jay Uso once the show went off Flair and Logan Paul came out. But you can mix and match all of these elements and just you can add more to Seth Rollins' crew. You can even tease kind of a, I don't always love the Super Friends, but this feels a little fresher than the Super Friends we got for the last 2 years. But ultimately, guys, what you have to understand, this is all the story of Bron Breakker. That's what this is. It's the story of Jay Uso, but more importantly, if this was a Marvel Cinematic Universe, we are in the era of Bron Breakker. At some point, Bron Breakker is going to turn on Seth Rollins. He's going to take Paul Heyman with him, and he's going to become the new alpha dog of the WWE. That's what's happening. That is the larger story at play here. You could try to find these little sub-stories and nuances and different things, but the reality is what we're actually looking at is Triple H beginning the maturation process of Bron Breakker. We are taking him to the promised land. Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman told us, Bron Breakker's he's going to main event 11 WrestleManias, I think he said. A very LeBron James-esque statement. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 11 WrestleManias will be main evented by Bron Breakker. And hey, I don't think that is a wildly accusational thing to say. But Bron Breakker is not going to be the guy to beat Jay Uso. I don't think the way WWE books that's the way they want things to line up. The way I would book it, the way I kind of see it going is Sami Zayn needs to win the title at some point and become a short, transitional, feel-good title run story to kind of right some of those wrongs that we've seen for the last couple of years where Sammy's gotten so close and never gotten the job done. I feel like that at some point you could have Sammy, doesn't even need to be on a heel turn. Sammy could beat Jay Uso, win the title, and then that's where Bron Breakker shows up. And Bron Breakker destroys Sami Zayn, winning the World Heavyweight Championship, just generating a massive volcano amount of heat on himself. And with Paul Heyman at his side, we were looking at the new overarching villain of WWE for the next 10 years to come. That's how you build up the next big bad guy. But I also could see, there's other options of how we could get there. I also could see Seth Rollins winning the title. I could see Seth Rollins taking the title off of Jay Uso. I could see a guy like Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble. And then you get like, maybe this is long-term, we go Sami versus Seth at WrestleMania. And then the night after WrestleMania, it's Bron Breakker taking out Sami Zayn because Seth couldn't get the job done. You could spin the story any way you want it, but I feel like that's another possibility that could work. Not my favorite way to get there. I like the idea of Sami winning the title later this year and then Bron just absolutely destroying him and becoming a monster sooner rather than later. But at the end of the day, guys, the point I'm trying to drive home to everybody here, the whole story arc that we are witnessing right now is the Bron Breakker story arc. This is not ultimately about Seth Rollins. This is not ultimately about Roman Reigns. This is not about CM Punk. We are witnessing a transition of power from guys like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and CM Punk. We are witnessing the emergence of Jay Uso and legitimizing him and getting everything we can out of Jay Uso. But ultimately, we have entered the era of Bron Breakker. This whole story arc, this whole situation is about getting Bron Breakker over. Let me know what you guys think. Is this story about Bron Breakker, or should Seth Rollins have won the title last night on Monday Night Raw? Is Jay Uso a worthy World Heavyweight Championship? Who's taking the belt off of Jay Uso? And does Bron Breakker get the Roman Reigns level push by 2026? I'm here for all of it. Let's talk about it.
Head down, we're ready to rumble. The casual pod don't stumble. No peace, no rest in this fight.